Hi everyone, my name is Lukasz Stepniak and I am Community and Marketing Manager at JP Games. Today, I have pleasure to present you a short presentation about how to grow a cult, building communities around your game. First, let's ask a question. What is a cult? By its definition, the term cult refers to a social group defined by its religious, spiritual, or philosophical beliefs, or its common interest in a particular personality, object, or goal. Behind that, there are always emotions. Emotions that triggers people and links them to a cult. This mechanism works very well in building communities around your game. First, you have to make them want it to love it. After that, you have to fuel those emotions. And this fuel is your communication with the community. But first, let's talk about plan. How to start? First, you have to prepare a communication strategy. To do that, you need to define your goal. I assume that you have already launched your game, and let's say you want to build a strong game-loving community, which will also share their experiences from playing your game. This community should gather around 1,000 users and be a part of your hardcore fan base. To achieve that kind of goal, you need to learn about your players. You should gather information about their demographics, what they like to do in their free time, where your audience hangs out, and what they love. If you don't have that kind of data taken straight from your app, try to use tools like Facebook Insights to learn more about fans' behavior, which you gather from your user acquisition campaigns. It will help you to determine more clearly the direction of your communication strategy. Story. When we already gathered some data about your audience, the second step will be to define your story. It should concisely convey your key messages and the essential points that you are trying to communicate with players. Don't forget to settle the language of your content. Developing clear and simple communication will be the key to the success of your strategy. And here we have some examples of how the story can be executed in your Facebook communication. First one is graphic. It's more about humor. It's a graphic from our game called My Hospital, because the humor was a big part of the story of the gameplay. So we were trying to use it on our communication with our community. And of course, humor is just a simple and pure positive emotion, and this works very well in social media. And the second example is from the latest Clash Royale campaign. It is introducing new characters, but in their own funny and animated way. This is a very good example of expanding your game universe into your communication channels by creating short animated videos. And the third one, and the third example, it's an example of brand creating its own language to communicate with fans. What is like amusing is a simple way to also expand the narrative side of your game. And if we already figure out the story that we want to tell to our audience, next big important thing is to choose your communication channels. Choose your main communication channels by thinking about the content you can offer. Knowledge about specifics of your channels will help you to build engaging content. Remember that you don't have to be on every social media channel. Some of them will not fit your communication strategy, and simply your fans won't use it. In this picture, we can see a cool representation of what every social media channel is all about. These examples shows how the topic of donuts can be executed in a different way according to the channel specifics. I don't know if you can see it, but I will read just a couple of this. Like the first content posted on Facebook will be like I like donuts, and on Twitter the same message will be like I'm eating and hashtag donut. And one of my favorite Google employees who eats donuts, because like no one is using Google Google Plus. All right, so if you already know which channels, oh sorry, the ways of choosing your social media channels are the topic for another long discussion, but no doubt the knowledge about which channels are used by your audience is one of the most important factors to build your community. If you already know which channels will be your main communication channels, now it's time to think about content, because content is king. Content should reflect the needs of players. To do that, you need to speak the language of benefits, of course, from players' point of view. And to do that, you can try to categorize your content. For example, contest, tips and tricks, discussion, and real-time marketing. And here I have a few examples of content which we launched on my hospital Facebook page. And the first one was a simple contest where the goal was to count diamond hearts, and the first person who drops the correct answer in the comments will win 100 diamonds. It's pretty simple, and it's engaging, and it works. The second post is a video content which we fit into tips and trick category. This is a simple way to teach players about your game mechanics and share part of the strategy. And the third one is an example of real-time marketing content and communication, of course. It can link your brand to any trending topic or event. This one was prepared for Star Wars Day, which was May the 4th. I guess everybody knows that. And the last one was published to stimulate comments on our Facebook page, and rewards was sent to players who published a proposition of dialogue between those two characters. And it also works very well because we were getting a lot of proposition of the dialogue. So now let's go to budget. I won't give you the exact amount that you have to invest in your communication channels, but there are a few things that you have to consider when planning one. Ensure that your budget matches your ambitions. The budget will determine what kind of scale of communication you can handle at the start. A very important thing that you have to remember is that your commercial content will not be visible for everyone from your fan base. For example, Facebook has its EdgeRank algorithm, which is choosing content by analyzing its structure and possible sharing potential. It's responsible for displaying content on Facebook. Originally, the EdgeRank was influenced by three components: affinity, indicator describing the user's relationship with the publisher; weight, and because Facebook rates have a different weight. In other words, a photo is counted differently than the text post. So engagement is also important. By engagement, I mean a number of likes and comments. And the third one, time decay. This is an indicator of how long the user has integrated with the site and how long it has been published. And now let's go to analyze. Analysis of your communication will help you better understand what your community prefers to watch and talk about. Measure the outcomes of your campaign, whether your objective has been reached, and use this to determine what you need to modify in your ongoing communication. Always remember that constant improvement is the key to the successful communication strategy. There's also other way to build your community. It is in-app communities. By providing a community inside your game where players can chat, interact, share strategies, and kill time, you will increase their level of engagement with the game. They will spend more time in the game, creating more loyal players, who are more likely to share it with other players and return it to themselves. So there are many tools that you can use, and some nuances still popping up from time to time, but I want to introduce you, in my opinion, 3 best ones, especially for mobile games. First one, you probably know, Discord. Discord is all-in-one voice and text chat app designed for gaming communities. It's free, easy to integrate, and supports both desktop and in-app experiences. It looks like a mix of Slack and Skype. Its specifics forces you to publish a lot of content and stimulate discussions often. If you feel like Discord will suit well for your game, here's a short video about why you should use it.
Hey you. Yeah, you. Why are you being stubborn? Why won't you use Discord? Just because it's new? Just because it's fancy and you don't want to use it? That's like your mom coming in your room and being like, "Yo, here's a new vacuum cleaner to clean your room, child. It's brand new and got all these awesome buttons and things." And you're like, "No, mom, I got a broom. I'm gonna use this broom to clean my room, mom." That's stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't use a broom. Use Discord.
Yeah, it's simple. Simply as that. All right. The second one is KatiePlay. KatiePlay is a tool that easily gives the developers a way to create a space for users to hang out and share tips, screenshots, and videos without ever leaving the game. When we were building the community for my hospital game, we chose this tool because it was a perfect match for our needs and goals. And here we have a short video which shows the main functionalities of KatiePlay.
Hi everyone, my name is Eric Wu, and I'm here to give you a quick demo of KatiePlay, the in-game community. So here we are using the live community inside of Rodeo Stampede as the backdrop for our demo today. If you look at the top left corner, you can actually see the KatiePlay community button. This button, as well as the actual in-game community UI, can be entirely reskinned or recolored to fit the look and feel of your game. So let's jump right into the KatiePlay community. So right now we are on the home page of KatiePlay. This page acts as a portal to the community and is 100% curatable by your LiveOps team. At the very top, we have featured posts that have been selected by our community managers as interesting or relevant discussions from the community. Some community managers even use it as a scrolling ticker for official announcements to the players. Below the scrolling bar is the featured video section. KatiePlay is a rich media environment which supports the viewing and sharing of both video and photo content straight from players' devices. Once a player lands on a video page, they can like and comment and share their opinions directly with their peers. The homepage also features collections, which are curated categories of grouped content. Depending on the game, these categories can be used to help players find relevant content that they'd enjoy, or in Rodeo's case, to showcase the winners of a recent live event. And finally on the homepage, we have our featured photos, as well as a scrolling ticker of the top active players inside the community. So this is the home page. If you go to the second tab, this is the community forum where you can actually see where the player discussion takes place. Players can share video, photo, or text content right into the community and engage with each other inside of these threads. And finally, the last 2 sections of the KatiePlay community are friends, where players can view the most popular players and influencers inside the community, as well as manage their personal profile page. So now that you've seen the front end of KatiePlay, let's jump to the back end and see what tools are available to the community managers and how they look from that perspective. So this is the KatiePlay back end. The first page that developers will land on once they log in is the dashboard. From here, developers can view some KatiePlay specific metrics such as their DAU, the new discussions or replies, as well as newly joined users inside the community. The community tab here lets us take the pulse of the actual community itself. So from here, developers and community managers can view, boost, lock, feature, or even delete posts that are inappropriate to the community. One other cool community tool that developers can use from the back end is the ability to use virtual accounts. So virtual accounts allow developers to interact with their players on a peer-to-peer basis in order to thank players for their contributions, guide or influence discussion, or simply even to solicit feedback. KatiePlay also comes equipped with a poll feature that allows developers to poll their players and let them vote on just about anything. KatiePlay also comes with auto-moderation and censorship tools, so that if posts are reported a certain number of times, they will automatically become hidden and be quarantined in the reported section for your moderators to review. Similarly, all videos are automatically hidden into the in-review section to allow your moderators to review each of these separately. Finally, the live ops section is where things can start to get interesting. So from here, developers can actually send messages or interstitials directly to their players. So messages are very powerful tools. They can be used to notify an entire player base to new events, to reward specific players who have been very helpful in the community, or even to act as a deterrent to warn specific players who have been posting inappropriate content. Here you can see we have the option of sending either a text-only message, a URL message, which will actually link the player to an external URL, which can be used, for example, to link to a merchandise website or to another game that you're actually cross-promoting. Or finally, a deep link that allows you to link players directly to a destination inside of your game, whether it's a certain level or the in-game store. So that's a very quick overview of KatiePlay, and I hope that was informative. Make sure to check out katieplay.com for the SDK and the documentation. If you have any questions.
All right. So the third one is Blackshot. It's a social app targeted at mobile gamers and developers that, like KatiePlay, gives gamers a place to communicate while providing game devs with information on how to improve their games and way to promote them. It looks more like a mix of Messenger and well-known Slack. If you use this kind of tool, you probably need a lot of text content to share with your community. And how it works with marketing. Your community can be also very helpful in increasing your income from in-app purchases. Here's a good example of it. To drive sales of this game is called Rodeo Stampede. To drive sales of discounted in-app purchases, the game's community manager of Rodeo Stampede created the character mission mall, which was featured in multimedia tutorials, videos, and screenshots, showcasing its secret abilities. Players were then inspired to buy Mission Mole for themselves so they could participate in a secret mission and win prizes. If they shared screenshots of their high scores, they were rewarded with the entry into random draw for other exclusive in-app purchases. Okay, so now let's look at the results. Then discounted in-app purchase revenue from daily active users surged by 192%, and the total in-app purchases revenue from daily active users jumped by 49%. So it's pretty cool. Alright, so the last subject, very important subject, is moderation. There are two ways of moderation: reactive and proactive. With a proactive approach to moderation, the goal is to prevent the bad content from ever appearing in public. The primary way that this is achieved is by having a moderation staff review all content posted and manually approving it after deciding whether it's acceptable. This approach to moderation is good, especially for already developed communities. And the second one is reactive moderation. In contrast, a reactive approach to moderation allows users to post freely without explicit pre-screening of content, with moderators reacting to issues as and when they arise. Reactive moderation is, generally speaking, a more pleasant experience for users because it allows them to engage fully with the community. However, there is, of course, the risk that unsuitable content is seen in public, at least temporarily. Alright, so this whole plan will help you to better understand the needs of your community. And please remember that behind your community there are always people, so try to treat them like one. They will appreciate it, and they will help you to grow your game even bigger, and by that your income should also increase. And this is all Thank you guys, and if you have a question, go on. Alright, so thank you.